Hello summoners, welcome back to the channel, and in this video we're going to talk about 5 extremely powerful synergies in Marvel Contest of Champions. And this is not a top 5 list, they are not placed in any order. I'm not claiming that these are the 5 most powerful synergies in the game or anything. These are just very good synergies that you should know about. So the first synergy team we're going to talk about today is going to be Black Bolt, Medusa, Hitmonkey Trinity, and just by themselves they're really good. Odin and Karnak not really required, but they do benefit. So let me just explain how all of this works. So Black Bolt's awakened ability, every time you crit you gain either a cruelty or a fury. Now they're not permanent buffs, and this is where Medusa synergy comes in. She makes them permanent buffs. And Hitmonkey synergy, the more buffs you have, the more you crit, and because the awakened ability is the more you crit, you gain buffs. So that's just a really good combination. And Odin with his pre-fights, you start with 3 buffs, so you crit more straight off the bat, and at the end you are just critting like basically Corvus and critting really hard. If you want to see the max potential of all of these characters, then I have made standalone videos of all of them, and you can check them out. Now, second synergy team we're going to talk about today is Korg, Mojo and Gladiator Hulk, also Thor Ragnarok and Hela. Hela actually manages to be in so many of these synergy teams. She's a very powerful character for synergies, but here as you can see, like, this armor break is very potent. You can also activate the Fury. And Korg, I don't think people really see. I think this might be the most underrated synergy team in the entire game, because Korg, he's usually seen as a defender, but look at those armor breaks and the damage. Like I've done damage comparison between him and Thing with full synergies, and he came close to beating Thing. So that's like a huge deal, and his damage output is really good. He has a lot of immunities going, and he also has the safety net of the rock stacks. So usually useful on defense, but even on offense they could help. So yeah, that is the reason he is here. And also, like, all of these characters, I'd say especially with Black Bolt, Hitmonkey and Medusa, they were just really good by themselves. Here Mojo Gladiator Hulk, they're kind of nice. Hela could be useful occasionally without the Odin synergy, and with the Odin synergy she is going to make other appearances on this list as well. But here probably the most famous synergy team of all, and it's Thing, Champion, Angela, Hela and Heimdal. Now this is kind of interesting because it is the only synergy team where you have the order really matters. You have to make sure that Champion is the second character you place, and then Angela, Hela, the order doesn't matter, but Heimdal at the end, because the way you place these characters is the way how these synergies are going to activate. Now there is an alternate synergy as well, where you cannot use Angela, Hela and use Mr. Fantastic instead. So I'm going to tell you the pros and cons really quickly here. So Angela, Hela, I think it's more reliable every single fight. So like you can see right now, we're not playing with that much health, but the other, it doesn't really matter as long as you get the fight down, because next fight you have to go to 1% anyways, and then you're going to heal from the Angela Hela synergy. Now with Mr. Fantastic, the first fight it won't really work, but in the next fight, as soon as the fight starts, you get regeneration. But the problem is it's not as strong, and also it just activates as soon as the fight starts. So while you're taking the first few hits, that also count, and you have to basically play with a slightly lower health, which personally I don't think it's worth it. Like, it could be worth it because you're also freeing up a slot, so you can put in another good character like Human Torch, because they synergize really well with the Mr. Fantastic Four thing. But anyways, moving on, we are going to talk about a very powerful trinity, which is Colossus, Omega Red and Emma Frost. Now Juggernaut, Professor X and even Apocalypse, they are really good. I like the ideal team, I would take out Juggernaut and place Apocalypse, but I don't have him, and also make Colossus Horseman, and you can just see some crazy numbers come out of him. But the main two synergies that he really needs, he doesn't need any synergies, to be honest. Even without synergies he's really good, but if you are going to use him in stuff like Labyrinth, then you really benefit from having Omega Red and Emma Frost, because the more armor you have, that's more attack rating with Omega Red, and you also gain a lot more power with Emma Frost. Juggernaut is basically the Omega Red synergy but weaker, and Professor X, he just benefits a lot of mutants. And if you could add Apocalypse and make Colossus a horseman, then even better. Now coming to the final synergy of the video, we're going to talk about Hela, Nick Fury, Odin, Quake and Captain Marvel movie. The best thing about the Synergy team is that all of them are amazing characters. The weakest one is definitely Odin, and even like he's not a dud like Karnak, you can use him still, and he's also gaining a buff, so hopefully that's good. But basically the only synergy that you need here is Odin, and with him like she gains double the fury she used to on holding heavy. Now Nick Fury and Quake has always been a good synergy for Hela because you start with the 3 evade charges, which helps in getting the Fury safely, because unlike Quake she doesn't have the auto evade kind of mechanic by herself, so when you're charging heavy and the opponent come running at you, you can see how powerful this synergy is, and I'm surprised that they are not going to change it at all. But anyways, coming back to the Synergy team, we also have Nick Fury and Captain Marvel movie for extended Fury duration, and having that is kind of important in longer stuff like Abyss in my opinion, because otherwise when you're playing her you kind of want to use a lot of medium attacks first before you start getting Furies. But if you have this synergy, it's slightly longer duration. It's still, it could be a little bit stressful, but because even if you're losing Furies you're hitting like a truck, so it doesn't really matter. So that's gonna do it for this one. Do let me know which is your favorite synergy out of this, and this kind of took a little bit like more time than the usual video to make, so make sure to leave a like, share with your alliance, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Stay safe, have a good one, and bye bye.